Hello, hello! You guys thought I had everything done already, didn't you? Nope, so I have one eye done and one eye not done. So today I wanted to talk about the importance of brushes. So, I'm sure some of you were also like this, but before I started my journey with Unique, honestly, I didn't wear a lot of makeup, so I definitely didn't use brushes, right? So we have all these different kind of brushes, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this stuff, right? Well, I used to apply my eyeshadow with my hand or just a pad like this, or my fingers. I never really used like brush tips and things like that. So I didn't really understand the importance, but it can really make the difference. Like, look at that. That was done with not a pencil. That was done with, brushing techniques. So I'm going to do a smoky eye with this one. So I've already finished this eye. As you can see, it's all the way done from start to finish. Now, some of the important tips. If you're going to be putting on eye makeup, really, usually, see, I have my face already done because I wanted to get on and do the tutorial, but a lot of times I go ahead and do my eye makeup first and then put on my foundation. And the reason that is because when you're applying your foundation, you can use your brush, to do this and kind of make sure that the lines are all clean. You can put your concealer on to make sure that the lines are all clean, and then when you add your powder, you can do the same thing. So it helps clean up the lines. The other thing is you always want to have some kind of primer. Primer is super important to keep it lasting the whole night or the whole day. If you aren't a believer in primer, I feel sorry for you, but there are other things you can do. So if you don't think primer's something you want to do, you can always put concealer on your eye instead. Just a little tiny dab will do it, and then it'll kind of give you a foundation for your eyes to sit on. Now, of course, since I put my foundation on first, I not only had primer, but I put foundation on my eyes as well. So as you can see, I already have my undercolor on right here, the Pristine, which is a white under my eye, and this is to brighten up my eyes and make them look bigger. So that's what I did there. The first step in the smoky eye, I do the eyeliner first, but the first step is, and I'm using several different palettes here, the first step is to do with a brush like this. I'm gonna use Tickled right here, and you're gonna do the transition color. So just like this. That's my transition color. And then, I know this is different because I did the same thing. I used to always do my lid first and then everything else. So then the next step you want to do is you're going to go ahead and use a brush similar to this. And we have ours comboed. See? Comboed. Then you're going to want to pick the tail color. Since I'm going to be wearing something corally and peachy, I'm picking Vintage on my lids, and I'm going to put Sarcastic as my shadow, as my smoky. So just a little dab will do it, not very much. And then we're going to, now the color that you want darkest is where you want to start, because if you start on the inside, then you're going to end up with really dark on the inside. So you kind of do that, and then you're going to go out, from out to in. Out to in. Kind of line up with your transition color. And then I'm going to take this and do my lid in Vintage. Vintage is right here. It's a very metallic-y color, which is great because when the light hits it, it looks like several different colors depending on the angle. So I'm going to do that on the lid. And then up at the top, you also use a flat brush. If you can use several different brushes, but I'm going to use a flat brush. And from palette 4, I'm going to use Tender. It's one of my favorite for the top lids, so I always like to use it. And I'm going to use this for that. Now, to prevent yourself from looking like a crazy person with all the colors being with all the lines being very sharp, it's good to, I'm rubbing the color out of this one because I've already used this one, And then you're just going to blend, just kind of in a windshield wiper motion, just like this. Lightly blend so you don't take the makeup off, but you kind of lightly cover it all, right? Okay, so then that's what you're looking at. Then, got the liquid eyeliner, and you're going to do your eyes. Get as close to your lid as you can. Or, I'm sorry, as close to your lash line as possible. You're just following the line. You can turn it over and pull this way if that's easier for you. I usually do it two-handed, but I'm having to hold the mirror, so it's gonna look a little funky the way I'm doing it. Okay. Then I'm gonna do a little whisk. Little whisk. Not quite a cattail, but I did it on this side. See, a little whisk. Now, to add the liner underneath, I'm not using the liquid liner. What I'm gonna do, now you might have a really thin brush that would work for that. You can use this. I'm gonna show you a little trick that I like to do because to me, I'm not very good at the brush yet, but I'm getting there. So I'm gonna use Irate, which is kind of a blackish gray. And what I'm doing is I'm using this brush, this little sponge, and just doing the line, like the tip, right? And then I'm going to use that, get right under my eye line, right under, right? Then kind of go out since it's supposed to be a smoky eye, right? And then now you've got a little bit of color all forming to it. And then again, you just kind of blend. Now, if the colors aren't where you want them to be, now these colors are super pigmented in palette 5, so typically one application is good. But if, it's not as bright as you want it to be, you can definitely go over it several different times to get the look you're looking for, get the color you're looking for, etc. So the last step in the process is going to be the mascara. And just apply the setting gel like you would any other mascara. Get it good and on there, right? And it's really good to do one eye at a time, just because you don't want it to dry before you put the fibers on. There you go. Now they might fall a little bit. That's what I like this brush for. It's a liquid foundation brush, but I really like it to just kind of move things off, right? So then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom lash. There you go. And then you can do one of two things. You can move on to the other eye while this one dries, or you can do several things actually. Move on while this one dries. I've already done my other eye, so that's not an option. You can put more makeup on somewhere else, wherever you're missing, like your lips or your blush or whatever might be missing, or you can use a blow dryer. I know it all sounds silly, but I've done a lot crazier things to get a good looking eyelash, like 30 coats of the same stuff. So, I mean, it's definitely not that preposterous to use. I just kind of brush my little fibers away, easy peasy. So you just wait till it dries, and then you do your very last coat. Again, good and soaked. And there you go. That is the smoky eye look. Thanks for watching.